Right guys, today we're going to be ordering down data, and what I mean by that is it's very similar in it compares to doing a select all in SQL basically, where it returns results. This is what this is going to do. So the command we're using is called $order. Okay, um, or it can be shortened to $O. So the first thing we need to do really is to set up some data. So what I'm going to do is I'll do a quick for loop for x equals 1 to 1. We'll go up to 1000, something like that. Set test x equals, and then we'll have I don't know, we'll have a random number in there or something like that, yeah. Up to 100 plus 1. Right, so you need to open up your terminal. Now I'm going to use a slightly different terminal today, but you would normally click on that. I'm using this one. Right, so let's now copy that. Right, what you'll probably do is realise that there's just one slight difference with the previous tests we've been using. So we've got an array there called test, and we've got an array there called test. The difference is we've got that test array and we have got that test array. Okay. Right, the difference is this is a local one, like memory, and this is a global array, like a file on disk. Okay, so that's what the difference is. Well, today we're using globals and not local arrays. We're using a global array. So that's what we've set there. We've set a global array up. So as you can see now, if we z right, all we've got is x, because we've done that for x equals 1 to 1000, set test x equals $random, whatever. Now our global array is it's on file. So by putting that little caret thing in between the name, you'll see that it's on file. So it's there, but it's hidden. It's stored on the disk in the database rather than in the memory. Okay. So there you go, look, 1000. So we're going to use that. So what we'll do now then is I'll just show you how to order down. So for instance, we're going to set x equals to null, start a new line. In fact, no, what we'll do is we'll do this on one line. For set x equals $order test x, quit if x is null, write test x. Right, what we've done there then, I'll explain this. So we're setting x to null. X needs to be defined, it needs to be null or a number or a value or something like that. We're going to start a for loop. Now previously we've had one space in between a for loop. This one needs 2 spaces. So what it's saying basically is it isn't counting, it's just going to keep going round and round and round and round and round until x is null. Now we're starting off as null and it's going to finish as null, but in between x will have a value. So the value of x will be these numbers here. 985, 986, 987, 988, 989, 990 and so on. So what we do then, first of all, is we say, right, set x is null. So let me just start this at the beginning. You will get used to this. So x is null, so x is nothing at the moment. So what it's saying there is, right, set x equals $order to a subscript in test. So from this point of view, it's saying, right, start at the beginning of test and get the first value of x. So x is null, so then it'll say for set x equals to 1, right? And then it says quit if x is null. Well, x isn't null because it's a number 1. And then it says write test x. So what it'll do then is, so we're saying is write the value of test number 1. So what it'll do there is it'll write that value. Okay, it'll go back to the beginning of the for loop, not this bit. It'll go back to there. It only does this once when you first run it, so it'll go back to there. So it'll say right, set x. Now x, as we know, is currently number 1, right? So then it says set x to the next one in the list, the next one in the global. So then it goes down to there, 2. And then it says quit if x is null. X isn't null because it's still number 2. So then it says write the value of test number 2. So then it will write 6 on the screen. It repeats it to there. So then the current value of x is 2. So then it says get the next one, which will be 3, which is that. And then it says check if it's null. It isn't. Then write the value of test 3. So then it will write 8. So it keeps on doing that until it gets to 1,000. So it comes. So imagine where x is 1,000 now. Okay. So then it says right, set x to the next value of test. So the next one after 1,000, there isn't one. So it assigns x to be null. So then it says quit if x is null. So what happens then is that then, because x is null, because there's nothing after 1,000, it then quits there, goes to the beginning of the for loop, and then exits the for loop, and then it'll go to this line there. So it starts there. Let me run it for you, and then we'll see. And I will explain it better with some more examples. So here we go. So as you can see, it's done all that list. Right, so that's where we started. So we've got 2, 6, 8. Whereas if we look in the actual file, we've got 2, 6, 8, 36, 89, 61, 32. So it's gone down that big list. So 2, 6, 8, 36, 89, 61, 32 and so on, down the 1,000 until it gets to the 1,000th, which is a value number 8. So if I show you that, so the 1,000th one is a value of number 8, and then it quits out. So bear with us, we will do some better examples. Okay. Right, what we can do is we can go, I don't know, backwards or something like that. So let's set x equals null for set x equals $order, the name of the global test, and then we put a comma -1 in. Quit if x equals null, write up arrow test x. So what this will do is the complete opposite. Even though x is null, this time we're starting from the bottom of the list. So this time we will be starting from the 1000th one and then going to 999, 998, 997, 996 and so on. This is a bit like in your SQL, your descending type thing. So as you can see now, before we started and the values were 268, 3689, now the ending in that because we've started at the opposite end. Right, what you can do now is I'll show you where, right, watch this then. So set x equals null for set x equals dollar order test x, quit if x is null. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to write test x equals, and then comma test x. Right, you can see there we've got a squiggly line. That's because we need two spaces. After a quit, you need two spaces. So if I put another space in there, it goes. Right. What this one will do is it will write out the value of test like we've done there, but in front of it it'll put the words test 1 equals, test 2 equals, test 3 equals and so forth. Right? So test blah 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 equals. If we now do this, set x equals to 994, for set x equals dollar order test x, quit if x equals null. Right, I'll just copy that. Right, so instead of starting off from null this time, what we're actually going to do is we're going to actually start off from number 994. So we're starting from there, and what it'll do then, it'll say for set x, so x is now 994, so it gets the next one. So we'll actually, the first one we will get is 995. Right, so it should show us test 995, test 994, 996, test 997, test 998, 9900, 1000, sorry. Right, that's because we started off at 994 and went down. So set x equals null for set x equals dollar order test x, quit if x equals null. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to put another quit in. Quit if x equals, I don't know, 990. Yeah. So what that will do, let me just write that. So what we're going to do now is go down, dollar order down, test, and it's going to quit out if it's either null or if it reaches 990. So if we paste that, so that it should stop at 990 instead of going up to 1000, it should stop at 990. Right? Although, right, what we've done is we've said we want it to stop when it is 990. So it is at the moment. It's 990. Okay, if we write out x, z write x, you'll see that x is 990. So what we've done is we've quit. So it's reached 990, so we've gone back to the for loop, and then we've quit to the next line. So we've missed everything after that. That's why it didn't write test 990. If you wanted it to show 990 there, then you would have to use that as 991 or something like that, or put your quit somewhere else. So let's just show you that. So we're going to quit if it's 991, so it'll show up to 990. Dollar ordering is brilliant. We're only doing it on a single level at the moment as well. Okay. Let me just show you this quick example. So test 900 and, I don't know, 90, comma 1 equals another level. Right, so if I show you that now, you can see there I've added another level. So we've got 990. Now we've got a 990, comma 1. Let me add a 990, comma 1, comma 1, and you'll see it'll stick it under there. Right, so if I now, so basically one subscript is a single dimensioned array. Yep. Two subscripts are two-dimensional arrays. Three subscripts are three-dimensional arrays. So this is how you can save lots and lots and lots of data. So if I was to do this now, zwrite test 990, it'll show us all three levels, because we've asked the computer to show us everything in that global that has a first subscript of 990, so it shows all the children underneath it as well. Right, now if we run our last one, where we got it to stop at 991, it'll miss these two out. See that comma 1 and that comma 1, comma 1? It'll miss that out. Right, it hasn't shown it, even though it's there, it hasn't shown it. The reason being is, at the moment, we're only doing one loop on one subscript. We would have to do two more of these for the comma 1 and the comma 1, comma 1. Right? Okay. But we'll come to that later on. So, based on these examples, what I would do is, if you pause the video, run that command, okay, and then just mess around with these, just mess around, you know, and just have a go, see what you think. The next tutorial I'm going to do is we're going to do a guessing game, and then after that what we'll do is we'll do some more that involves actually saving data to a database and extracting it and stuff like that. Right, I know it sounds complicated, but just trust me, just like I say, do this one first of all, that line, and then just mess around with these, and you'll be able to mess around and you'll see what happens.